Part 1. Whisper of the Forgotten Stars. You know, it's generally not a good sign when you wake up to the sound of an alarm blaring through the hull of an ancient prison cube in the far reaches of space. The kind of alarm that isn't just suggesting you wake up, but rather stabbing at your eardrums with the urgency of 1,000 angry port authorities. I bolted upright in my bunk, the cold metal beneath me a familiar discomfort. The dull thrum of distant machinery vibrated through my bones. The cube, as we called it, was a relic, a floating testament to forgotten wars and memories best left buried. And here I was, a memory-cloned officer, reliving old tactics like some cosmic déjà vu. Morning sunshine, crackled the ship's intercom with a level of cheer as believable as a politician's promise. That was Ral, our resident engineer and sarcastic bard of the galaxy. Seems we've got some company. I rubbed the sleep from my eyes and stumbled toward the observation deck. The cube wasn't much to look at from the inside, just gray walls, flickering lights, and that ever-present hum. From the outside, it was a sight to behold. A massive, eroded structure floating through the cosmos, its surface a network of scars from ancient battles. I peered through the viewport and saw them, shadows against the backdrop of stars, an array of sleek, alien crafts hovering like predators at the edge of appraised territory. Their form was unlike anything from the old archives, a series of twisting, bioluminescent designs that played tricks on the eyes. "They aren't broadcasting any identifiers," said Ral, his voice now closer as he joined me. "And they're not responding to any hails." I watched the alien vessels, their presence ominous, yet strangely mesmerizing. My gut, usually reliable in these situations, twisted with a mix of intrigue and unease. The cube had its secrets, but attracting alien attention wasn't supposed to be one of them. I turned to leave, and then it happened. A ripple coursed through the very fabric of space, a cosmic anomaly, a tear that expanded and contracted like a living entity. I watched, transfixed, as it swallowed the alien crafts, their forms stretching and fracturing into the tear's maw. The silence that followed was deafening. "That," I muttered, "is going to be a problem." Ral nodded, ever the pragmatic type. "Think we should tell command?" "Command's been dust for centuries, Ral. We're the only voices left to hear." We needed to know what we were dealing with. The cube was rumored to hold ancient technologies, leftovers from an era where gods of war walked among the stars. If those alien vessels were here for something, we had to find it first. With a sigh, I made my way to the control room where our pilot, a wiry, unflappable woman named Sera, was already tapping at the console. "Tell me you've got some good news," I said, more hope than expectation in my voice. Sera didn't look up, her fingers dancing across holographic keys. "Define good. We've got an anomaly on our doorstep, and the sensors are reading a spike in temporal activity." Just perfect. Anomalies were like bad relatives, never invited, always overstaying their welcome. We needed a plan. I leaned against the console, trying to ignore the pit forming in my stomach. We could venture into the cube's heart, comb through its rusting corridors and dormant tech in hopes of finding answers. But the cube wasn't known for giving up its secrets easily. Ral chimed in. "I vote we send a probe in first. Maybe it'll tell us what we're up against before we end up a part of some interstellar art exhibit." Humor under duress, our specialty. I gave a nod, deferring to the suggestion. "Deploy it, Sera. Let's see what the cube's hiding this time." The probe launched with a quiet hum, its thrusters propelling it into the murky depths of the cube's interior. On our monitors, the feed flickered to life, showing passageways lined with dormant machinery and walls etched with incomprehensible script. It was like peering into the soul of a forgotten god. We watched as the probe descended deeper, its camera capturing glimpses of decayed elegance, a hall of memories that had long since lost their cheer. And then something moved. Not machinery, not a trick of light, but a form, alien and unfamiliar but undeniably alive. "Did you see that?" Ral whispered, leaning forward, eyes wide with disbelief. "I saw it," I replied, my voice barely rising above the thrum of the ship. Whatever was down there with us, it was aware, and it was waiting. As the probe ventured further, Sera's eyes narrowed at the readings. The anomaly outside, it's affecting the cube. The temporal spikes are coming from within. Of course, why not add a temporal mystery to our growing list of concerns? The alien presence, the anomaly, the cube's secrets, everything was connected, tangled in a web woven through time. I straightened, the weight of decision settling on my shoulders. It was time to move. We need to go in. If we're going to understand what's happening, we can't do it from here. Ral grinned, a flash of reckless enthusiasm in his eyes. "Adventure calls, eh?" Sera shook her head with mock despair. "I knew I should have taken that desk job." We armed ourselves with what tech and tools we had, anticipation thrumming through us like an electric current. The cube had become our stage, the anomaly our backdrop, and the alien presence our mysterious audience. Whatever was waiting for us, we would meet it head-on. With a final glance at the swirling anomaly outside, I led our small crew into the heart of the cube. Unknown shadows awaited, and amid the echoes of forgotten stars, our adventure began. Part 2: Echoes of Lost Time. The cube's corridors stretched out before us, a labyrinth of forgotten pathways and dormant machinery, the air thick with the feel of history not quite at rest. Our footsteps echoed through the metallic expanse, each step a reminder of the ghosts that lingered in the shadows. I could feel the weight of eyes on us, though whether they were alien or spectral, I couldn't say. Ral's voice broke the silence, a welcome reprieve from the oppressive quiet. "You know, I once read that space is like a giant existential prank. Everything's just floating around, pretending to be significant." I chuckled despite myself, grateful for his knack for humor in the face of the unknown. "Well, if this is a prank, I'd like to have a word with the universe's comedian." Sera, our ever-steady pilot, walked slightly ahead, her eyes scanning the surroundings with a practiced precision. "Let's hope the punchline isn't our demise." The passageway widened abruptly, opening into what must have been a central hub once, now a ruin of crumbled stone and twisted metal. In the dim light, the room seemed to breathe, the air alive with the hum of dormant energy waiting to unfurl. At the center, something glowed, a pulsating sphere suspended in midair. It flickered with the faintest whisper of colors, like a memory struggling to surface. My skin prickled with the sensation of standing on the precipice of revelation. "That's not in the manual," Ral remarked, eyes wide with a mix of awe and disbelief. We approached cautiously, the sphere's light casting curious shadows on our faces. I reached out, my hand hovering over its surface, feeling warmth emanate from it like the ghost of a star long gone supernova. Sera's voice brought me back. "The anomaly outside. This could be linked. Temporal energy, maybe." As though responding to her words, the sphere shimmered, revealing images flickering within its depths. Faces, places, events, moments from a time we didn't belong to and couldn't possibly understand. A voice, rich and resonant, echoed through the chamber, a language that twisted around my thoughts, comprehensible despite its alien origin. You have come to awaken the echoes. I exchanged a look with Ral and Sera, their expressions mirroring my own disbelief. None of this was in the briefing, not that there was much of a briefing to begin with. The voice continued, weaving a tapestry of visuals and sounds that filled the room. It spoke of guardians, of a civilization that once soared among the stars, and how they had locked their legacy within the cube, hidden from the ravages of time. Ral scratched his chin, a habit when faced with puzzles of cosmic proportion. So if I'm getting this right, the cube's like a library, a vault, and that sphere is its librarian. Or its security system, Sera added, her tone thoughtful. I wasn't certain of anything, except that we were standing on the edge of an unfolding mystery far greater than us. The alien presence we'd seen, were they here to protect this legacy, or claim it for themselves? Suddenly, the sphere flared brightly, a pulse of energy rippling through the air like a sonic boom. I staggered back, the force knocking the breath from my lungs and grabbing for something, anything, to keep me grounded. And then, as quickly as it had come, the energy dissipated, leaving a silence that seemed to absorb our every thought and fear. Ral was the first to find his voice. Well, that was unexpected. Sera was already at the console we'd found at the room's edge, fingers dancing over alien symbols that shifted under her touch. Whatever that was, it's triggered something. Look, the whole structure's coming alive. Around us, lights flickered to life, paths illuminating, leading deeper into the cube's heart. The ancient machinery stirred, a symphony of gears and circuits awakening from their long slumber. Looks like we're committed now, I said, trying to sound braver than I felt. Ral smirked, patting me on the shoulder. Nothing like a little cosmic awakening to get the adrenaline pumping, right? We followed the newly lit path, the sphere's energy still tingling in our veins. Each step felt like stepping further down a rabbit hole, the air tinged with the scent of ozone and mystery. As we moved deeper, the feeling of being watched grew stronger. The alien presence we had glimpsed before now felt closer, more tangible, as if it were shadowing our every move. I caught glimpses, fleeting shadows in the corners, whispers of movement just beyond the edge of sight. My heart hammered with the thrill of discovery and the fear it brought. Whatever secrets the cube held, we were no longer merely observers. We were participants in a story centuries in the making. As we rounded a corner, we found ourselves before a massive door, carved with symbols that glowed in the same ethereal light as the sphere. It was beautiful and ominous, promising answers and danger in equal measure. "This is it," Sera murmured, her voice barely above a whisper. "And there's no turning back," I replied, feeling the weight of those words settle over us like a shroud. With a deep breath, I stepped toward the door, the air buzzing with anticipation. The cube's secrets were within our reach, and whatever lay beyond would change everything. For better or worse, we were committed to the journey, and somewhere in the shadows, the guardians watched and waited. Part 3. Veil of the Guardian. The door unfurled like the petals of a metallic flower, each segment retracting into the walls with a series of satisfying clicks. Whatever technology powered this place, it was as graceful as it was ancient. Beyond the threshold, a vast chamber awaited, its ceiling disappearing into darkness, the walls lined with consoles and displays flickering with alien script. The room felt alive, a heartbeat pulsing beneath the layers of forgotten dust and time. And standing in its center, framed by the glow of countless holographic screens, was a figure. It was unlike anything I'd seen, a creature woven from living light, its form shifting and flowing as if struggling to maintain shape. I felt my breath catch, the sight both awe-inspiring and unsettling. This was no mere hologram. It radiated presence, intelligence, and an authority that left little room for doubt. The guardian of the cube, I presumed. Ral, ever the bold one, was the first to speak. "Well, hello there. I don't suppose you come with a manual." The guardian's face, if it could be called that, turned toward us, its features a kaleidoscope of colors and patterns. "You are the seekers," it announced, its voice a melody of notes harmonizing with the chamber itself. "You have awakened the veil." "Is that a good thing or the kind of thing that gets us vaporized?" Ral muttered, half to himself. I stepped forward, choosing my words carefully. "We came to understand what drew us here, the anomaly, the messages. Are you responsible?" The Guardian's form shimmered, the colors deepening to shades of blue and violet. "The veil is a vessel of preservation, a memory of what came before, of knowledge unbound by time. The anomaly is an echo, a distortion of forgotten cycles. It seeks to balance what has been disrupted." Sera exchanged a glance with me, her eyes mirroring my growing confusion. "Balance? What kind of disruption?" The Guardian's form rippled, as if caught by an unseen wind. "The legacy we protect is bound to the flow of time, but others seek to unravel it, to exploit what should remain untouched." I felt a chill run down my spine. The alien craft outside, swallowed by the anomaly, were they part of this? Agents of disruption or simply caught in an ancient feud? Ral scratched at the back of his head, his expression one of bemusement. "So, you're saying we're standing in a cosmic library that's under siege by time-traveling bookworms?" The Guardian's response was a serene flicker of light. "In a manner of speaking, but the threat they pose is far greater. If they breach the heart of the cube, the veil will be torn and the knowledge lost." I knew then that our presence here was no accident. The anomaly, the guardian, the threads of history interwoven through the cube, they had drawn us into a conflict that transcended our understanding. And we had a choice, to walk away or to stand against forces we couldn't yet comprehend. Sera's voice was calm, determined. "If we're to help, we need to know what we're up against. How do we stop them?" The Guardian lifted a limb, pointing to a console at the room's edge. "There is a device, an ancient barrier. It must be activated to stabilize the anomaly and shield the core of the veil." Ral and I moved to the console, its surface alight with foreign symbols. The challenge was immense, but beneath the complexity was an underlying logic, a rhythm I could almost grasp. My hands moved over the interface, Ral beside me, his technical prowess a reassuring presence. As we worked, the atmosphere shifted, the room filling with an electric tension. The anomaly outside was accelerating, its influence creeping closer, tangible like a storm on the horizon. Sweat beaded on my forehead, my focus narrowing to the task at hand. Each command, each sequence brought us closer to success or inevitable failure. And then, with a final press, the console lit up. the symbols converging into a singular, harmonious pulse. The Guardian's form blazed with light, a crescendo of colors that filled the chamber with warmth. You have done well. The veil is secure for now. A wave of relief washed over me, tempered by the understanding that this was only the beginning. The alien threat lingered, a shadow yet to reveal its full intent. But the cube, its mysteries, and its guardian were no longer alone. Ral let out a breath he'd been holding, grinning with a mix of triumph and disbelief. Not bad for a day's work, huh? Sera smiled, exhaustion blending with determination. We've bought time. Let's make sure it counts. The Guardian's presence seemed to dim slightly, its task momentarily complete. But its parting words lingered, an echo of hope mingled with warning. The seekers are the key. Remember the past, for it will guide the future. With that, the Guardian vanished, leaving us alone once more amidst the glow of alien technology. The cube, though still a riddle wrapped in enigma, felt more like an ally now, a testament to resilience and the enduring spirit of its creators. We retraced our steps, the path lit by the knowledge we'd gained and the commitment we'd forged. Outside, the anomaly still swirled, a dance of cosmic forces restrained but not defeated. As we stepped into the corridor, I felt a renewed sense of purpose. The Guardians had trusted us with their legacy, and though the road ahead was fraught with unknowns, we weren't alone in the journey. It was time to face the stars once more, armed with the wisdom of the past and the courage to forge a new path. Part 4. The Silent Armada. As we emerged back into the endless corridors of the cube, a disconcerting calm settled over us. The Guardian's words echoed in my mind, each syllable a reminder of the stakes we now faced. We had secured the veil, but the threat loomed larger than before, unseen yet ever present. Ral was uncharacteristically quiet, his usually animated features subdued by the weight of our newfound responsibility. Sera, ever vigilant, had already begun formulating a strategy as we made our way toward the hangar bay. We needed to regroup, to understand the full extent of what lay beyond our fragile sanctuary. The hangar loomed ahead, its vast doors opening like the maw of a beast welcoming us into its depths. Our ship, a sturdy vessel named the Vigilant Light, sat waiting, our trusted steed amidst a universe of uncertainty. I ran a hand along its flank, the metal cool and reassuring beneath my fingers. "Home sweet home," Ral said, his voice carrying a note of affection. "If this ship had a heart, I'd say it's still beating strong." Sera smiled, already at the controls, her hands moving with a practiced grace. "Let's make sure we keep it that way." As we powered up the ship, the familiar hum resonated through the cabin, a melody of engines singing of resilience and hope. The cube's internal systems guided us out, and once more we were met with the vastness of space, the anomaly still swirling distantly, a reminder of our mission's urgency. "Anything on the scanners?" I asked, settling into the co-pilot's seat. Ral studied the readouts, his brow furrowing with concentration. "We've got movement, several objects approaching fast." I leaned forward, adrenaline sharpening my senses. The alien crafts were returning, and this time they weren't alone. A fleet materialized from the darkness, an armada of ships with forms as fluid and enigmatic as the first we'd encountered. Sera's expression was all business, her mind already working through scenarios at light speed. "They're coordinating. Looks like they found reinforcements." A chill crept down my spine. The silence of space was deceptive, masking the tension and potential violence of a confrontation that could ripple across galaxies. "Options?" I asked, my voice steady despite the storm swirling within. Raoul's fingers danced across the console, pulling up schematics and tactical overlays. "We could try and outrun them, but with that many ships, it won't be easy. Our other choice is to make a stand, see if we can negotiate or push them back." Sera glanced at me, her eyes reflecting the hard edge of determination I'd come to rely on. "This is our chance to understand their motives. If they're after the veil, we need to know why." I nodded, knowing she was right. We had to confront them, learn what drove them to breach the sanctity of the cube. Activating our comms, I sent out a signal, a broad-spectrum call for dialogue. "This is the Vigilant Light. We seek peaceful communication. State your intentions." For a breathless moment there was only silence, our message absorbed by the void. Then, a voice crackled through the speakers, alien and multi-toned, yet comprehensible. "You guard the veil unjustly. We are the Echo's hand, and we come to reclaim what is ours by right." The Echo's hand. The name resonated with an unsettling familiarity, as if plucked from the annals of forgotten wars. I felt the weight of history pressing down, the knowledge that we were caught in the middle of a conflict rooted in time itself. "We mean no harm," I replied, choosing my words with care. "The veil has chosen to trust us. Why do you seek its power?" There was a pause filled with the tension of unspoken truths. "The veil is a key," the voice returned, its tone grave. "A key to unlocking the future. You would keep it locked away." Sera's eyes met mine, the urgency of the moment crystallizing in our shared gaze. We had to tread carefully, to navigate the precarious balance between discovery and destruction. "It's a key to knowledge," I countered, hoping to find common ground. "We should learn from it, not weaponize it." The response was swift, the voice tinged with disdain. "You presume to understand. The veil's potential is beyond you." Raoul muttered under his breath, his frustration simmering just beneath the surface. "They're not here to chat. They're here to take what they want, come hell or high water." On the screens, the alien ships moved closer, a coordinated dance of power and precision. The time for words was slipping away, the choice before us stark and unyielding. Sera's hands tightened on the controls, her resolve unwavering. "If they want a fight, we'll give them one. But let's try not to start an interstellar incident while we're at it." With a nod, I prepared for what was to come. We engaged our defensive systems, the Vigilant Light humming with energy, its circuits alive with the promise of action. Then, like a storm breaking over a tranquil sea, the alien ships descended upon us. The space between us crackled with energy as the first salvos were exchanged, a cacophony of light and sound that filled the void. As the battle unfolded, our ship danced among the stars, weaving through the chaos with the agility of a predator evading its hunters. The Echo's hand pressed their attack, relentless and unyielding, but we held our ground, bolstered by the knowledge that our cause was just. In the heat of the struggle, a realization struck me. This was not only a fight for survival but a test of understanding. The veil, the anomaly, the Echo's hand, all were threads in a tapestry of cosmic proportions, a narrative that stretched beyond the confines of our comprehension. As the last of the alien ships retreated, their mission thwarted, I felt a mixture of relief and anticipation. We had won a reprieve, but the story was far from over. The echo's hand would return, and the secrets of the veil awaited our discovery. With the stars as our witness, we set course back to the cube, determined to unravel the mysteries that lay within. The future was unwritten, and we were its authors, guided by echoes of the past and the promise of what was yet to come. Part 5, Threads of the Nexus. The aftermath of the skirmish left us in a contemplative silence as we navigated back to the cube. The vigilant light hummed softly, a steady reminder of its resilience and ours. The echo's hand had withdrawn, but their message lingered, a warning and a challenge wrapped in one. Sera was at the helm, her hands moving over the controls with a familiarity that spoke of instinct rather than thought. Ral was already dissecting the data we'd gathered, his eyes narrowed in concentration, his mind a whirl of calculations and theories. As we approached the cube, the anomaly that had been a tempest of cosmic currents now hovered with a deceptive calm, its swirling depths subdued, but its presence as imposing as ever. "Think they'll come back?" Ral asked, breaking the silence, his voice tinged with a mixture of curiosity and concern. I considered the question, aware that we had only glimpsed the edges of their intent. They will. The echo's hand isn't finished with us, not while the veil remains. Ral leaned back, a rueful smile tugging at his lips. Well, nothing like being popular among intergalactic zealots. Sera's voice was thoughtful, her eyes never leaving the viewport. The anomaly. It feels like it's waiting. For what I don't know, but we can't ignore it. She was right. The anomaly, the veil, and the cube were entwined, 3 points of a triangle that defined our path, and somewhere within that equation lay the truth we sought. Once docked within the cube, we returned to the central chamber, the Guardian's domain still resonant with the echoes of our previous encounter. The Guardian materialized swiftly, its form a shifting tapestry of light and knowledge. "You have returned," it observed, its voice a melody of understanding and expectation. The echo's hand cannot claim what they do not understand. I stepped forward, hands at my sides, the weight of the questions we carried a tangible force. We need to understand more about this place. The veil, the anomaly, how are they connected, and why are they so important? The Guardian's glow deepened, the patterns on its surface swirling like a story unfolding in colors and light. The veil is a nexus, a convergence of time and thought. It holds the essence of worlds long past, a memory of creation itself. The anomaly is a guardian of its own, a shield that preserves the integrity of the nexus. Ral scratched his chin thoughtfully. So what? It's like a cosmic archive protected by its own time-bending bouncer. The Guardian's light flickered, as if amused by the analogy. Indeed, the anomaly reacts to threats, balancing disruptions within the flow of time. Sera crossed her arms, her gaze steady. And what about the echo's hand? Why do they want the veil? Their desire is twofold, the Guardian replied, its voice echoing with a note of caution. They seek the knowledge contained within, believing it will grant them power. But more than that, they wish to reshape the destiny of the stars, guided by visions of their own making. The implications hung heavy in the air, the weight of cosmic ambition casting long shadows. The echo's hand wasn't just after power. They sought dominion over the natural order, a rewriting of the universe's very narrative. Ral exhaled sharply, the gravity of the situation sinking in. That's a bit more than we bargained for. Sera's expression was one of determination, her resolve a beacon amidst the uncertainty. Then we need to ensure they don't succeed. We have to protect the veil. The guardian nodded, the light of its form pulsing in agreement. The nexus must remain intact. You have already begun to weave its story anew. An idea took root in my mind, a thread of possibility that wove through the chaos. What if we could use the anomaly to bridge the veil to another point in time, shift its presence, make it inaccessible to them? The Guardian's form shimmered, the colors of its being intensifying. It is a dangerous path, fraught with risk, but it may be the only way to safeguard the Nexus. Raoul's eyes lit up with the promise of challenge, his mind already racing ahead. A temporal shift sounds like a problem begging for a solution. Sera's hands rested on her hips, her gaze fixed on the Guardian. What do we need to do? A device within the cube, the Guardian explained, its voice a harmonious guide. It can synchronize the nexus with the anomaly, creating a conduit through time, but it requires precision and understanding. We were on the brink of a leap into the unknown, the path ahead illuminated by the flickering light of discovery. This was our chance to alter the course of the conflict, to protect the veil and perhaps redefine what we understood of space and time. With the cube as our ally and the anomaly our tool, we prepared to step beyond the boundaries of what was, and into the realm of what could be. The Echo's hand might hold the ambition of reshaping destiny, but we held the knowledge to preserve it. As the chamber pulsed with the energy of the Nexus, I felt a sense of purpose solidify around us. We were guardians now, not just of the veil, but of the story that bound past, present, and future. With a final glance at my crew, I knew that together, we were ready to face the unknown. The threads of the Nexus awaited our touch, and the tapestry of the cosmos was ours to protect. Part 6. The Temporal Conduit. The cube's labyrinthine corridors seemed to pulse with a kinetic energy as we made our way toward the device the Guardian had pointed us toward. Each step resonated with the burden of our mission, echoes of distant epochs whispering their secrets in the dim light. We were on the brink of something monumental, and the air thrummed with anticipation. Raoul was at my side, his natural curiosity shining through the tension. So, we're going to shift a whole lot of veil across time, just another day in the life, right? Despite the gravity of our task, I couldn't help but chuckle. Well, it beats paperwork. Sera led the way with her characteristic precision, her focus unyielding as she navigated the cube's intricacies with the skill of a seasoned star chart navigator. Let's just make sure we don't end up sending ourselves into a black hole. We reached the chamber housing the temporal device, a cavernous space filled with intricate machinery that seemed to breathe with the hum of ancient power. The device itself was a marvel, a complex array of shimmering crystals and swirling conduits, an orchestra of light and energy orchestrating the symphony of time. Raoul surveyed the setup with a mix of awe and excitement. Now this is a piece of tech I could spend a lifetime tinkering with. The Guardian appeared, a luminous presence that filled the room with a sense of calm. The device can attune the Nexus to the anomaly, allowing you to guide it through the currents of time. But beware, the adjustments must be precise. I approached the console, the responsibility weighing heavily on my shoulders. The fate of the veil, the future of the stars, rested in our hands. But as daunting as it was, it also felt profoundly right. Sera joined me, her gaze steady and reassuring. We've got this. just like navigating a tricky asteroid belt, right? I nodded, steeling myself for the task ahead. With Raoul's assistance, we began calibrating the device, our movements a carefully choreographed dance of intuition and logic. The room filled with a soft hum, the crystals resonating with the pulse of our intentions. As the device responded, the walls around us shimmered with holographic displays, cascading in colors that painted the air with visions of futures and pasts. It was mesmerizing, a window into the fluidity of time, an ocean of possibilities where each ripple could birth a new reality. The anomaly outside swirled with newfound vigor, its energies intertwining with the cube's design. We were on the cusp of unlocking a door that had remained sealed since time immemorial. Raoul's voice broke through the awe-inspiring spectacle, grounding us in the reality of the moment. Coming up on critical point. You ready? I took a deep breath, my heartbeat synchronizing with the rhythmic dance of the device. As ready as we'll ever be. With a carefully executed sequence, we activated the final command. The device responded, its crystalline facets erupting in a cascade of luminescence, like 1,000 stars igniting at once. The energy surged, filling the chamber, spilling into the anomaly, the two entities merging into a singular force. The room vibrated with a crescendo of power, the air crackling with the intensity of cosmic storms. We were the eye of the tempest, at the epicenter of a convergence that defied the boundaries of time and space. And then, as if a great sigh released by the universe itself, the energy settled, the lights resolving into a gentle glow that wrapped around us like a celestial embrace. I felt the weight lift, a sense of calm washing over us as the device confirmed its success. The nexus had been shifted, concealed from those who sought to exploit it, secure for the ages to come. Sera exhaled, her relief palpable. We did it. The veil is safe. Raoul grinned, a triumphant light in his eyes. I'd say that's one for the history books, assuming anyone ever finds them. The Guardian shimmered with approval, its form radiating gratitude. You have woven a new thread into the tapestry of the cosmos. The Echo's hand will seek the veil, but they will not find it. Yet even as we celebrated, I felt a tug at the edge of my awareness, a sense of unfinished business lingering in the shadows. We still have the anomaly to contend with, I reminded them, the reality of our situation sobering the moment. Its presence means we're not done yet. The Guardian acknowledged my concern, its light a thoughtful ripple. The anomaly, now attuned to the nexus, is a sentinel. It remains to protect the balance. As we absorbed the full scope of our achievement, I realized the anomaly was no longer an obstacle. Instead, it had become part of the solution, an eternal watchman overseeing the legacy we'd preserved. Our mission had brought us full circle. From seekers of knowledge to protectors of the unknown, we had become part of the grand narrative we set out to understand. With the stars as our why, T-ness, we departed the cube, leaving behind the echoes of history and embracing the future we'd helped safeguard. The anomalies of the cosmos awaited our exploration, a tapestry of mysteries woven with time and courage. And as we charted our course into the vastness of space, I knew that we carried the spirit of the Guardians with us, every step of the way. Part 7. The Celestial Codex. As the vigilant light slipped away from the cube, a sense of profound clarity settled over me. The stars stretched across the vast tapestry of space, each one a beacon calling us toward new horizons. We had safeguarded the veil, woven our own thread in the universe's endless story, but the journey was far from over. Ral sat across from me in the ship's common area, his fingers absently tapping out a rhythm on the table. The silence between us was comfortable, a shared moment of reflection steeped in the gravity of recent events. "So we've got a temporal anomaly as our bodyguard now," Ral mused, a wry smile playing on his lips. "Strange times call for strange friends," I replied, matching his grin. "But it's a comfort knowing the veil is out of reach." Sera entered, her presence a steadying force as she pored over navigational charts. "We should set a course for the nearest hub station. We could use some downtime and calibration, and maybe a decent cup of coffee." The thought of mundane pleasures was tempting, a return to normalcy after the whirlwind of cosmic intrigue. Yet a part of me remained restless, like an itch I couldn't quite scratch. As if reading my thoughts, Sera added, "But first, there's something we should look at." Curiosity piqued. Ral and I followed her to the cockpit. The main console displayed a map of the sector, but it wasn't the usual cartography of known space. Instead, it was a sprawling network of interlocking symbols and paths, a web of connections that seemed to breathe with the rhythm of the stars. "What are we looking at?" I asked, intrigued by the complexity of the chart. Sera pointed to a cluster of marks that pulsed with a gentle luminescence. These coordinates appeared in the data we pulled from the cube, a celestial codex of sorts. It outlines a series of waypoints, each connected by pathways of ancient significance. Ral leaned over the display, his eyes wide with fascination. A road map of the cosmos could be treasure knowledge, maybe even answers to more than we know. As we studied the codex, patterns emerged, a narrative written in the language of the stars. Each waypoint hinted at mystery, a promise of discovery that beckoned with the allure of the unknown. "This is what we've been looking for," I realized, the excitement simmering beneath my words. "A chance to explore deeper, to understand the universe on its own terms." Sera nodded, her voice steady with resolve. If the veil was just the beginning, then these waypoints might offer the continuation. With a shared sense of purpose, we plotted a course for the first set of coordinates. The vigilant light thrummed with anticipation, its systems a symphony of readiness as we prepared to navigate the celestial codex. As we launched into the void once more, the stars seemed to shift, aligning with the paths we traced on our journey. Each waypoint was a beacon, each turn a step toward unraveling the cosmic tale inscribed across the heavens. The first stop took us to a planet shrouded in perpetual twilight, its surface an ever-changing mosaic of luminescent flora and crystalline formations. As we descended through its mist-laden atmosphere, the air buzzed with the energy of life, every breath a harmony of scents and sounds. We touched down in a clearing where the ground glistened with a soft, otherworldly glow. Everywhere we looked, nature had crafted wonders, from towering plants that whispered secrets to the winds, to pools of liquid light that rippled with every tremor. The planet was a living codex, its every element a testament to the beauty and mystery of creation. Ral was entranced, his every word an echo of awe. "This place, it's like the stars decided to paint their dreams across a canvas." Sera's gaze swept the landscape, her expression one of wonder tempered by inquiry. "There's something here, something that ties back to the codex. We need to find it." As we explored, The answers we sought began to reveal themselves in the form of intricate glyphs carved into the crystalline formations, each symbol a piece of a puzzle unfurling through time, a language born from the heart of the stars. With Raoul's technical expertise and Sera's intuitive insight, we began to decode the glyphs, each revelation leaving us both enlightened and yearning for more. The planet sang its story to us, a melody of epochs and evolution, its truths embedded in the very essence of its being. By the time we returned to our ship, our minds brimmed with knowledge, fragments of the celestial codex woven into our consciousness. We had glimpsed but a fraction of the secrets held by the cosmos, and already it was more than we had dared to imagine. As we took off, the planet fell away beneath us, its mysteries left in our care. Our journey across the network of stars continued, the waypoints stretching out before us like a string of pearls, each one a promise of enlightenment and adventure. And so we flew onward, guided by the light of the Codex, bound for the next chapter in our unfolding saga. The universe whispered its tales through the void, and we were its listeners, eager to learn, to explore, and to become part of the infinite story written across the stars. Part 8: The Echo from Beyond. As we navigated the celestial codex, our path wound through the stars like a thread drawn through a cosmic tapestry. Each waypoint unveiled new wonders and enigmas, weaving us deeper into the universe's intricate narrative. Our journey took us from planets bathed in eternal light to nebulas where colors danced in symphonies of creation. Out here, amidst the silence of the stars, I felt a profound connection to something greater, a tapestry of existence where each thread, each life, had its place and purpose. The Codex itself seemed alive, its guidance resonating with the pulse of the cosmos. Raoul and Sera were as captivated by our journey as I was, our shared experience binding us closer as we unraveled the mysteries we encountered. Every discovery was a testament to the boundless creativity and possibility that defined the universe. Our next destination shimmered in the distance, an anomaly of light and shadow that pulsed with a rhythm both alien and familiar. As we approached, the ship's sensors began to register readings unlike any we'd seen, patterns of energy that defied conventional understanding. Sera leaned over the console, her expression a mixture of intrigue and caution. These readings, it's like the laws of physics decided to take a vacation. Raoul adjusted the sensors, his brow furrowing in concentration. The Codex points here, but it's like it's guiding us through a Mobius strip of reality. Whatever's here is bending the rules. We descended into the heart of the anomaly, the vigilant light navigating the swirling currents of energy with the grace of a dancer weaving through a storm. The air around us shimmered with potential, every particle alive with the resonance of possibilities. As we landed, the landscape unfolded like a dream, a world caught between dimensions, where colors bled into one another and sounds became visible, painting the air with ghostly echoes. The ground beneath us shifted with a surreal fluidity, as if reality itself was a suggestion rather than a rule. We stepped out of the ship, each movement echoed in the air with a whisper of sound and hue. It was both unsettling and beautiful, a manifestation of the universe's untamed creativity. Raoul marveled at the surroundings, his voice tinged with awe. This place, it's like we stepped into a work of art still being painted. Sera nodded, her expression thoughtful. It's as if the whole planet is a canvas, each element contributing to a larger picture. As we explored, we discovered structures rising from the ethereal landscape, towers of light and shadow that seemed to hum with a silent symphony. They were ancient, yet alive, their surfaces inscribed with glyphs that resonated with the Codex's guidance. We approached cautiously, the symbols drawing us closer with the promise of revelation. As our fingers traced the glyphs, they responded, illuminating with a gentle glow that pulsed in time with our heartbeats. The Codex has brought us here for a reason, I mused, the words carrying the weight of our shared understanding. These structures, they're a part of it. Ral's gaze was drawn to an archway formed by the structures, its surface shimmering with the suggestion of an opening. Looks like an invitation. Shall we? With a nod from Sera, we stepped through the archway, the world around us shifting once more as we crossed its threshold. The air shimmered, and we found ourselves standing in a chamber that embodied the essence of potential, a nexus of reality where time and space coalesced into a single point of focus. In the center of the chamber floated an artifact, its form a delicate lattice of light and shadow, the intersection of possibilities made manifest. It pulsed with an energy that resonated through the chamber, filling us with a feeling of connection to the universe itself. This is what the Codex wanted us to find, Sera breathed, her voice barely above a whisper. Ral approached the artifact with reverence, his hands moving over its surface without touching, as if afraid to disturb its delicate balance. It's like holding the cosmos in your hand. As we stood in the chamber, a presence made itself known, a voice that flowed through us, an echo from beyond the boundaries of the known. It was a murmured chorus of understanding and wisdom, resonating with the very fiber of our beings. We are the echo, it intoned, its tones a symphony of creation. You have heard the call, answered by the thread of time. Know that you are part of the weaver's design. The revelation struck us to our cores, a profound understanding that we were participants in a narrative that spanned the universe, a story written in the stars from the dawn of time. With renewed purpose, we activated the artifact, its energies flowing through the chamber like water over the rocks of a babbling brook. The Codex had brought us here not only to discover, but to participate, to become part of the echo that shaped reality. As the artifact's glow intensified, the world around us shimmered, the fabric of existence weaving tighter around our presence. We were no longer observers or guardians, but creators in our own right, each step forward a new thread in the cosmic tapestry. The vigilant light took flight once more, our path guided by the call of the Codex and the echo of creation. The universe awaited, a canvas of infinite possibilities, and we were its artists, ready to paint the future with the colors of discovery and hope. Part 9. The Resonance of Truth. With the artifact's revelations resonating within us, the vigilant light sailed through the cosmic sea with newfound clarity. Each waypoint on the Codex had illuminated a path, yet the journey was far from over. The universe, vast and mysterious, beckoned with the lure of discoveries unforeseen. Ral had retreated to the engineering bay, where the artifact now nestled amidst an array of equipment. Its presence altered the space around it, casting prisms of light that danced to a rhythm only it could hear. Ral was in his element, his hands deftly maneuvering tools as he interfaced with its mysteries. You know, he mused, his voice echoing with wonder, I never imagined I'd be working with something that feels like it's alive. I leaned against the doorway, watching him work. It's as if it's a piece of the universe itself, a conduit for its secrets. Sera joined us, her eyes reflecting the hues cast by the artifact. If the codex and the artifact are two parts of a whole, then we're part of that whole too. It's changing how we see everything. We were on the cusp of understanding a truth that transcended our previous perceptions of reality. The codex was not just a map, but a guide, shaping our journey through the stars in ways we hadn't anticipated. As we exited the engineering bay, the ship's sensors picked up an anomaly, distinct from those we had encountered before. It pulsed with a familiar energy, yet held a different signature, an echo of the artifact's resonance. "Another anomaly?" I asked, curious at the divergence from our expected path. Sera nodded, her fingers flying over the controls. "It's a reflection of the artifact's energy. It's like a signal calling out to us." Ral joined us in the cockpit, a grin spreading across his face. Time to answer the call then. With determination, we redirected our course, the vigilant light responding with grace as we approached the anomaly. It shimmered in the void, a construct of light and gravity that seemed both tangible and ethereal. As we neared, the ship's systems integrated with the anomaly, its presence enveloping us in a cocoon of knowledge and sensation. It was a symphony of experience, a bridge between our understanding and the universe's infinite complexity. The anomaly unfolded like a bloom, revealing a gateway, an invitation to step beyond the boundaries of our known existence. We exchanged glances, the decision unspoken yet unanimous. Together, we crossed the threshold, the world dissolving into a cascade of light and emotion. When the brilliance subsided, we stood upon a platform suspended in a vast expanse, a nexus where forms of all kinds converged. Entities of light and matter, woven from the fabric of space itself, moved in harmony, their presence a tapestry of existence. Ral's eyes widened with awe and recognition. "We're witnessing the universe's heartbeat." Sera's voice was hushed, reverent. "It's the source of the codex, a place where all paths begin and end." As we explored, the entities acknowledged us, their forms shifting in patterns that resonated with our thoughts. They communicated without words, their intentions clear, a sharing of truths that transcended language. The artifact we carried pulsed with the same rhythm, harmonizing with the entities as if rejoining a family long separated by time and space. It was a reunion, a convergence of purpose and understanding. In this place, time was a river, flowing in all directions. Past, present, and future entwined, offering glimpses of possibilities and potential. We saw echoes of our own journey, threads of fate weaving through the cosmic loom. The entities guided us to a central point, a wellspring of energy that pulsed with the essence of creation. Here, the codex and artifact synchronized, their light enveloping us in a vision of clarity. "The codex guides those who seek," a voice resonated through our minds, a chorus of unity. "It is not a destination but a path, revealing what has been, what is, and what may be." Ral blinked, absorbing the enormity of the revelation. "So, our journey is the Codex's story, one that we continue to write." The chorus continued, a melody of encouragement and wisdom. "Each step you take shapes the universe. The artifact is a key, opening doorways to understanding." Sera's expression was one of determination and resolve. "Then, we have to ensure we use it wisely, to protect and nurture rather than conquer." The vision faded, leaving us with the certainty that we were both custodians and authors of the cosmic narrative. Our journey was a living thing, evolving with every choice and discovery. As we returned to the vigilant light, the anomaly closed behind us, its energy now woven into our very being. The codex, the artifact, and the resonance of truth had transformed us, guiding us toward a future of infinite possibilities. With the stars as our guide, we embarked on the next chapter of our Odyssey. Avi and enlightened, ready to embrace whatever the universe brought our way. The cosmos awaited, and we were its explorers, its guardians, its storytellers, writing the tale of eternity one star at a time.